Me and my two besties, we had a group chat called Real Plot Girl Shit where we were doing plot shit. There are seasons in your life that are allowed to be absolutely feral and insane. These are just tips about how I am running my summer so that I can get the most out of it while being intentional. You guys know what time it is, okay? It's summer. Wow. Hello everyone and welcome back to Too Smart for This. I'm your host Alexis Barber, and it's so annoying to say that, honestly. Every single time I say it, I'm like, you sound so lame. But anyway, welcome back to the show. I'm so ready to chat today because I think this might be the first time I've been kind of excited about summer. And I think part of that comes from the fact that I've been in school and I actually had a real season where it's summertime. Then another part of it is that I'm way more confident in myself this summer, and I kind of want to give the girls some tips on what I'm doing. As much as I am way more confident and more excited about the summer, I'm also overwhelmed by it because I only have a certain amount of time to do everything I want to do. So I want to give you my guide and what I'm doing to make sure that I can get the most out of summer with my friends, okay? And the most out of summer in general. So yeah. Before we get started, welcome to the show. If you're new here, my name is Alexis Barber, and I am a content creator, founder of COLLAB, as well as a incoming second-year MBA student at Wharton. So I make content here throughout every platform on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and I also have been doing this podcast for years now, and I really love doing it. It feels like you guys are I feel the most connected to this audience, so I love making this show. If you all are so inclined, I would really appreciate if you could take a second to leave us a review, leave us a like if you're watching this on YouTube, and subscribe, as well as, just share this with a friend who you think might like it, because I really love making the show, and every review, every listener that we get allows me to do more cool things with the podcast and do more cool things with COLLAB. So I really appreciate it. And with that being said, let's jump into how to have a real hot girl summer. Now, I want to start by saying that there are seasons in your life that are allowed to be absolutely feral and insane, okay? When I started business school all first semester, I was an absolute disaster. I don't know if you guys were listening then. I don't know what I was telling you then. I don't know what I was saying back then, but I was being crazy. And it was for the plot, you know what I mean? Me and my two besties here at Wharton, both of which are coming on the show, Temi and Rebecca, we had a group chat called Real Plot Girl Shit where we were doing plot shit. We were not making responsible decisions. I was kissing a lot of boys in the club. A lot was going on. You know what I'm saying? We were being crazy. So I want to say, if that's your vibe this summer, just lean into it, because the more you suppress yourself from not having fun, the more it's going to pop back up later. So if you don't want to be responsible, whatever, you don't have to be responsible. These are just tips about how I am running my summer so that I can get the most out of it while being intentional. Because what I learned from that semester of doing everything for the plot is that it was very unintentional. And my therapist quickly told me that was irresponsible, and I don't really do well when I don't have intentions or boundaries around things. So clearly you can imagine how I was left at the end of first semester. Moving on, I do want to say, my definition of a hot girl summer is confidence, because to be honest, guys, it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, it matters what you look like. Obviously, all of us care about looks, but confidence is more important than anything put together, and the hottest people are the most confident ones. And I feel like these tips are more about, being more confident and being more calm in your brain as opposed to looking better, but looking good is definitely important to me. So let's get started with my first thing, which is to make a Pinterest board. When do I not recommend making a Pinterest board? I do it every single freaking day, okay? I have a couple of Pinterest boards for summer. I have one that's specifically summer vibes, and then I have a warm weather and a cold weather Pinterest board for outfits. So I have a cold weather one for when it gets fall, winter, and then I have a warm weather one for the summer. And I've been pinning on that, but I also taken some of those pins and put them into my summer Pinterest board too. And I just had a vibe for what I kind of wanted to get out of this summer. And once I had that sort of visual vibe, I was able to start actually applying it to my life. So I went shopping. So I feel when it comes to summer, like clothes and stuff, I've always kind of hated it. So this summer I like made a vibe for how I wanted to feel and sort of like a color scheme for what I wanted to do. If you're curious, it's like black and white are always my bases, but I wanted to experiment with adding some more red, adding some leopard print, some blue for when I go to the south of France next month, like all these different little things, you know? And so I had a vision board, like all the things that I wanted, and then I went shopping. So if you want some tips on shopping for some like cute little summer outfits, I usually love going on Princess Polly. And then I also did a haul I'm doing a haul because I just placed a huge order at Pepper Mayo. Pepper Mayo, I feel like had the vibe for what I wanted to wear this summer. I literally could have bought everything on their website. It was so good. So those are the two places for like, they're not super expensive. They're like, I think most things are like under $100 on both websites. So I would definitely check those out because I think they're going to be perfect for summer. But I feel like it starts with visuals for me. So it starts with, okay, what are the vibes we want to go for? And like also, do you want to have a feral girl summer or do you want to have a hot girl summer? Do you want to be single and start dating someone by the end of the summer? Do you want to be, focusing on yourself and being super healthy this summer? Like, one of my good friends, after this like crazy year, she just wants to like be in Philly and like be healthy all summer. And then for me personally, I just want to like really make a big impact on my business while I have time and also like look and feel my best. You know what I mean? So set a little bit of an intention. And I feel like if you don't really have an intention and you're like, wait, I don't know what I'm doing, a Pinterest board is the best place to start. And then overhauling your wardrobe to make sure that you feel good in whatever you're going to be wearing in the summer. For those of us who've struggled with our bodies in the past and are probably struggling now, looking good is really important, but it's super hard in the summer because everyone is showing so much more skin. So I don't care if you don't like your body right now, you have control over your wardrobe. So find some outfits that make you feel amazing so that you can enjoy your summer because summer is meant to be enjoyed, okay? Speaking of, I want us to set some actual goals for the summer, okay? And I want you to do it in this framework of the different areas of your life, okay? So I have a few areas: fitness, finances, friendships, dating/relationships, career, and then like a personal goal, you know what I mean? So I'm setting a couple of goals in finances in that like I really want to manage my money better and I really want to have like zero debt basically and be like really ready because by the time I graduate in a year, I'm going to be moving back to New York City and I want to be able to afford a nice apartment and stuff. So I want to scale back on spending. When it comes to fitness, I want to work out every day because I have kind of fallen off of that routine. When it comes to like a personal goal, I really want to go to therapy and I really want to be focused on like improving certain little areas of my life that I've noticed are lacking, like mental health wise. And also for career, I obviously want to work on 2 Collective. I want to post consistently. I'm doing this really cool series about like building 2 Collective in public. I have these different goals and I sort of sat down and I decided, okay, what can I realistically do in 3 months? What can I realistically do in 3 months? And these are the things. So like that's what I sat down and decided to do, instead of being like, this summer I kind of want to like have a hobby. No, like we have 3 months. Realistically, that's not a lot of time. So 3 to 4 months, some people have September, whatever. You have 3-ish months. What do you really want to do? If it comes to relationships and dating, for example, and you want to be in a relationship by the fall, then that means you need to be going on 1 date a week. Whether if it's this with the same man or with a different man, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to be thinking critically, okay? So I set a goal in each like area and then I'm setting what do I need to do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to accomplish that goal and make it into just one single action you can do every day that will get you closer to that. And of course there's going to be big days where you need to like work a little bit harder on something, but setting a goal in each area and having a tangible way to get to it by the end, ask yourself, what does success look like with this goal and what does failure look like with this goal, so that you know exactly what you're aiming for so that you can be more intentional about the way you spend your time this summer. I firmly believe that one of your goals should be to have a lot of fun, okay? So if you want to have a lot of fun, sometimes it requires planning. Obviously, we love a night that's like just whatever, like we all did it or whatever, but I want you to sit down and be like, where do I want to travel this summer? And what are some cool events I want to go to? What are some cool restaurants that I want to try? And take like just like an evening and book everything. Book reservations, book your flights to wherever you're going, book reservations in the places that you're going, and use all of this as a time so that you can like set yourself up to have something to look forward to. Think of this admin as like exciting to make your hot girl summer fun. So I'm personally, if you want some inspo, I'm traveling to south of France for a week. I was going to go on a 2-week vacation, but I just got back from a 2-week vacation and it really didn't sit well with me. So I think I'm going to go just for a week this time because I love the south of France so much and my friends are going and we have a sick villa. So like I'm going to go. And then I'm also going to go to Martha's Vineyard for the 4th of July. And so I need to sit down, book those trips, and then I want to make sure that if there's events or restaurants that I want to go to in those places, that I've looked those up, decided them, and figured them all out. So that's like something I want to do over an evening. Then I want to get party tickets. Like there's tons of different like events and stuff going on in New York like while I'm here. So I want to get tickets to everything so that I can make sure I'm enjoying myself and put those in my calendar so I know when I'm in New York and when I'm in Philly. And then you can go on TikTok and look up some like rooftop bars or like dinner reservations that you want to do and make sure you book those on like Resi and Open Table and stuff, because even if you're booking it for 3 weeks in advance, like which you kind of have to do if you want to do anything in New York these days, when you're booking that, you have something to look forward to. I'm the type who's like, oh, if they don't have anything today, then I'm not going to book it. But I know that I need to book things for the future so that on Thursday, when it's really nice outside, I can go sit by the park and get a drink, even though everybody else that doesn't have a reservation and we can't find anything to do. So that's something that I recommend. Just take it one evening, one Saturday morning. I don't care. Just make sure your summer is ready to go and planned. Next up, I do want to talk about dating. Okay, I do. Not because I am a expert in this field, because I'm not. You might not actually want to take advice from me because I'm pretty new to this. But here's some things that I'm trying to do, that I'm working on, that I think you maybe could learn from, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? For dating rules this summer, you need to decide what you want and not take any other bullshit. You know what I mean? I also think that it's important to really decide like what you want, one, from like other people, but also like out of yourself. Like no man or not man, I really don't want to keep, I want to be more inclusive with my language here, but no one should be in your life that isn't adding to it, because your life on its own should be better or great. You're in charge of your life on your own. You know what I mean? So when it comes to dating, I think that a lot of us have this negative mindset where we're like, oh, as long as they like me, like what if this, and we sort of make excuses for people who don't actually fit our boxes or make us feel good or make us feel happy, because we're like, oh, I just want someone and I just want something. And if it's not right, it's not for you. We talked about this in the last solo episode about trusting your timing. If it's not right, it's not for you. And so I really recommend writing down if you just want to fling, like someone hook up with over the summer, write that down and write out how it should make you feel. If you want someone who is like going to be your long-term partner, write that down and how you want to feel. And don't take anything like less than that. But at the same time, focus really on how you feel as opposed to checking something off your list, and sort of be open to what might happen, because you never really know what might happen. I really think that like people can surprise you. So that's my positive little dating thing, whatever. Just decide what you want and be intentional, because if you're not intentional, you might fall into something that's really not good for you. Now I want to get into some mental health stuff for summer. So I feel like summer is the best time to have great mental health, particularly because the sun is out literally all day. So for me, it's so nice because I can wake up early, the sun is up, I can go on a walk, and like I get things done, you know what I mean? But at night, the same thing. But I think it's also a really good time to introduce more healthy habits, because we have more of that daylight, so that by the time the daylight savings comes later on, you're used to doing the things that are really healthy for you. So I recommend you have a super simple morning and evening routine. And it's important to know, like, this isn't going to happen every single day, but a simple one, okay? And in the summer, I really think that it should include going outside as soon as you wake up, just because that's like the best thing to do. But like I really want to emphasize a simple evening and a simple morning routine is going to really change the game for you. And I think the evening routine is most important, because on nights I do my evening routine, the morning is so much smoother and so much better, and I feel so much more spacious. So for example, my current evening routine is nothing crazy. It's just that like when I'm done with work, go on a walk. I usually see friends or talk to a friend on the phone or something like that. And then sometimes I come home and I will either shower or take a long bath. I love to do Pinterest and stuff. And then I try to turn off all screens an hour before I go to bed. And this is just so that I can like read or like listen to music or something, because I've really fallen off of my like screen time habits. So I went to Barnes & Noble. I picked up a couple new books. I have a goal to read at least a book a week moving forward. And so I'm hopeful that I actually like do that, because I've been out of reading because I've been reading for school for a while. So pick up a book, something you're excited to do, and an hour before bed, have a reminder go off that's like turn off the screens. I love to do my red lights. You guys know, get my water, get my like lavender spray, do my lotion on my hands, sit in bed and read, and that'll knock you out. You know what I mean? So if you're having trouble sleeping, I really recommend the Beam Dream drink. It's really good. It tastes like Reese's peanut butter cups, and well, you can get the multiple flavors, but that's the flavor I like. And it has everything in it to help you sleep. So I love to do all of that, get my supplements out. But the two key things to do before going to bed, whether it's screen time or not, is lay out your clothes for tomorrow and do a light pickup of your place so that in the morning you feel clearer about being able to do things. Because you don't want to waste your morning energy or your decisions that you have to make for the day on outfits and on cleaning up, because it's just a waste of time. So do those few things and have your solid morning and evening routines that you can rely on, because the summer's chaotic. You never know what can happen. And physical health. I want to remind you guys, it's summertime, and I think most of us started, I feel like when you go to the doctor, so many doctor's appointments and stuff are in the summer, because that's when we had to get like annual physicals to go back to school. So it's like we're all on this like rotation of the summer. I want you to, in the same way that you booked all of your parties and stuff like that, book all of your doctor's appointments, because it's something that often falls by the wayside, particularly for the busy girls like myself. So I booked all my doctor's appointments so that I can make sure I'm getting like a physical, going to the gyno, doing everything. If you're in New York, I like to use Tia Health. They are like women's health first and all this stuff too. And they have acupuncture and all this. And then I also love to go to Beam Street Dental. That's where I get my cleanings and stuff like that. So highly recommend both of those two if you are in New York and you're looking for a new primary care or for a new gynecologist, women's health, a new therapist. Tia has it all, and Beam Street was such a good dental experience if you need that. I don't know if do I have other doctors in New York that I go to? I don't know. I am going to Warby Parker for my eye exam soon, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. But yeah, mental health and physical health, very important to take care of this summer. Okay, next up. I want to do 3 healthy habits that I feel like help with hot girl summer, and then 3 beauty habits. So 3 healthy habits for hot girl summer are 1, getting in at least 10,000 steps a day. I already get in 10,000 steps a day typically, so my summer goal is actually 15,000 steps a day, and that's just because it's how I feel my best and I have more time for it. And then the second one is to research a bunch of recipes, healthy recipes that you want to make, and make a little Pinterest board, make a little plan for that, so that you don't fall into the trap of ordering food all the time, because that's kind of what ends up happening to me. So I've done that. I think it's going to be really good for the summer, but I've also considered doing some of those meal prep services like Snap Kitchen. I used to use a service called Made Meals. It's like, if you have the means, and I think when it comes to health, like we should all invest in our health, but I think it's important to make sure that you are doing everything you possibly can to make sure that you can eat healthy. And I'm considering doing that just because cooking, for one, is just so expensive and stupid sometimes. And it's so difficult to figure out that sometimes doing like this type of meal situation is a lot cheaper and a lot smarter in the long run. Okay. And finally, get a personality workout. You know those girls who go to Barry's and they have like 300 Barry's classes or 300 solid core classes? I feel like those girls have a lot of discipline and a lot of routine, okay? So I've decided that I want a personality workout, like something I'm always talking about that I love doing. And I've decided it's going to be Form Pilates. I love Form Pilates from Sammy Clark. It's like you do it at home. They have strength training too, and make it a part of your personality, because when you do that, you become much more likely to do it, because you're like, oh yeah, this is something I do. And then it becomes associated with you, and everybody's like, yeah, she does that. And so you're like, yeah, I do that. So my 3 little health tips are: aim for a step goal, make sure that you are going to the doctor, and go to therapy, obviously, as well as find some recipes and some ways to eat healthy this summer, because you're just going to feel better when you do that. And finally, find a personality workout. Okay, a few beauty tips for the summer, okay? So my main one is like hard gel. It's like my main beauty tips for the summer are do the high maintenance to be low maintenance things. I got laser hair removal on my Brazilian starting in like October of last year, and I've never been more grateful because now for the summer I feel so much better. And if you are going to be tanning a lot, it's not the best time to start laser, but literally life-changing. It's so good. And then if you have like it's so much better. Hard gel on the nails. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see, but I get hard gel on my nails, and I do in these last 3 weeks to a month basically, and they're builder gel essentially, so it doesn't take away your natural nail, and they last way longer. I've never had like them break or anything like that, and they're so great. I think the girls get Russian manicures when you're in if you're in a big city and you have access to that. Also, for my like summer skincare routine, I have been really just like scaling it down and focusing on moisture because I have pretty dry skin, and I started using like prescription strength like tretinoin and stuff, and so at night, instead of cycling through all the different acids and stuff, I just do those two things and focus on moisture and stuff. I love this moisturizing mask that I get on Amazon that like literally absorbs into your skin. It's so great. And like for body care, I have been using the Naturium Multi Glow or something like that. It's a drugstore one. The Multi Glow oil, it's so good. And then I've been shaving with my Athena Club stuff. Honestly, I never used to care too much about my razors, but I have like pretty sensitive skin, and I nick my skin a lot when I'm shaving, and that's because I was using like the cheap $2 razors. I've really switched over to using like nice razors, and I do think it makes a big difference because I already have enough like cuts and shit on my legs. I don't need any more. So those are a couple of beauty things for the summer. My number one thing that I do in the summer is just I use the Supergoop glow screen, because I find that is like it obviously makes you glow, but it's also SPF. And I just feel like you don't really need too much on top of that. Even though I have blemishes and even though I have like dark spots, I still feel like it makes everybody just look a little bit better. So highly recommend that. That's sort of my go-to little like skincare routine. Don't forget to moisturize, everyone. Even though it's hot out, we still need to moisturize. Okay, my final little tip for hot girl summer is to make sure that you're being present, and I think it's really helpful to be present. A tip that I have for being present is to take time to reflect, because when you're not reflecting, you're not realizing what's going on, you're not really processing it or able to make decisions as quickly. So a quick little thing that I would do is to add this little journaling session into your life every morning, which is write down gratitude, write down some things you're proud of yourself for, and then write down your intentions for that day. And just this quick little practice can help you recenter a lot faster and also make better decisions because you're actually reflecting and you're building self-confidence by also reminding yourself why you're proud of yourself that day. So this is something you can do in your notes app on your phone on the way to work. It's also something you can do in like a nice journal if you want to, but just make it something that you can do consistently, because something I've found is when I forget to check in with myself or reflect or write down my feelings or how things are going, I often fall into a trap of, negativity and not being intentional with my general decisions, and that's not good for anybody. So that's my last little tip for you guys. I really hope you liked this episode. I hope you guys are ready for hot girl summer and ready to have a good time. I'm going to post the things that I've been doing, the restaurants I recommend, all that stuff on my TikTok, Instagram. So make sure you're following and that you are checking those out if you want some inspo for the things that we can hit this summer. Our collaboration with Rare Beauty is live on rarebeauty.com. The Two Collective Rare Beauty robe is available, so I would really appreciate if you guys could support the brand by shopping. That would be absolutely amazing. These were made with so much love and care. It's something that you can get for yourself that's going to help you feel like in that self-care era and like you're taking care of you and slowing down a lot this summer. So I love you guys so much. I hope you are doing amazing. Don't forget to follow, share this episode with someone, give it 5 stars, all the things. And finally, don't forget that you are too smart to not love yourself. See you next week.